All right, a recipe for hot cocoa calls for 7 tablespoons of chocolate syrup for every 4 tablespoons of Cool Whip. And the line represents a relationship between the amount of chocolate syrup and the amount of Cool Whip needed to make the hot cocoa according to this recipe. The point 1 and 1.75 is on the line. All right, so part A says label the axis appropriately. So for any XY axis, we have X is horizontal, Y is vertical. And also, for any set of XY values, your X is the first value and the Y is the second value. Okay? All right. So, we have our X and we have our Y, but the question is, does X represent Cool Whip or does it represent hot cocoa? All right. So, we need to dig a little bit deeper to figure out which one is which. All right. So, the next thing we're going to look at is we're going to look at our constant of proportionality. So to find that, that's just the y value over the x value, right? So if I have a table, we have our x value and we have our y value, okay? And we want to know which one is going to give us, the right numbers here. So the y value we know is 1.75. The x value we know is 1. And anything divided by 1 is 1.75. So let's see, how can we set up this table so that we can get 1.75 using the numbers that they've given us. They said 7 tablespoons of chocolate syrup, 4 tablespoons of Cool Whip. All right, so let's see here. To get 1.75, you want the y number divided by the x number. I know that 7 is going to have to be on this side because I'm going to divide that number by 4. If I did it the other way around, like if I had it with 4 on this side and I had 7 on that side, when I did the division, 4 divided by 7 would not give me 1.75. So that would not work out. All right, so by setting it up that way, 7 stands for the chocolate syrup. So I'm going to say chocolate syrup. And 4 stands for the Cool Whip. So I'm going to say CW, right? All right, so by doing that, now I can find the COP just to verify. So that is 7 divided by 4. 4 goes into 7 one time, remainder 3/4. And that is 1.75. If I do my division there, 3/4 is 0.75. All right, so this gives me a COP of 1.75 just like I need it to. So that means the Y value, that's got to be the chocolate syrup. And the X value is going to be the Cool Whip. All right, so then I'm going to put my check mark right there. We've just labeled the axes appropriately. All right, now for part B, it says write an equation that represents a proportional relationship between chocolate and syrup. So in this case, we're going to say, y equals 1.75 times x. So that's my equation. Y is equal to 1.75x. They didn't tell us, what letters to use for chocolate syrup or Cool Whip. So we just know that Y stands for the chocolate syrup, and we know that X stands for the Cool Whip. Okay, so for the last one, part C, they're saying explain the meaning of the point 1 and 1.75 in terms of the situation. One thing I forgot to do earlier was I forgot to say that, on our X and Y axis, we're talking about tablespoons here. So tablespoons of Cool Whip and tablespoons of chocolate syrup, right? So there you have it. For every 1 tablespoon of Cool Whip, there's your 1 of Cool Whip on the x-axis. There are 1.75 tablespoons of chocolate syrup, because again, Y stands for the chocolate syrup. And we are done.